Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I appreciate the patience, sorry about that. Just had to get things set up and ready to go. Had an issue of actually getting the file in the right place, but I've got it now, so we're all good here. So let me just go ahead and get the chat up so I can see what everybody's saying here. For those free of you here, good to have you, good to have you. I did notice that we had a comment here just a second ago, so let me just go ahead and say hello. How you doing, the Bostava? Good to have you, my man. Good to have you. How you doing there, Stip? Yeah, sorry about that. 5 minutes, and I'm going to edit that out when I do upload the video to YouTube, so don't worry about that one. Won't be a problemo. Let's go ahead and again get in here. I just had to make sure that I had the file sorted. When you drag and drop it into the folder, it dragged in as zipped, and I need to just, like, unzip it, basically, and then we're all good to go. So don't know what to expect. Well, I guess I kind of do. We're going to go ahead and load it here anyway. I fear for the VTV, and I expect them probably to take a hammering. Maybe they survive, likely they don't. I wanted to give them more air cover, and it was a decision here of, do you give them more cover versus air, which I did, so I guess we'll have to see what happens. The game should be loading here in a second. I'm going to be intrigued just to see what he's done, if he's moved here at all, but I guess we'll see. Right, so it's a shame that you don't get to see the animations, but it's okay. So let's take a look at what we have here. So Bremen, dogfights. Looks like we came out on top here. He took 3 hits and had an elimination. So summary, what happened since your last turn? So he's gained victory points. We've lost some victory points, which is interesting. 26 victories, 35 defeats, 163 casualties. Interesting. I guess we'll see how things have gone down. Nuclear tension has decreased, though, which is interesting. Thanks, Alex. I guess you're just here just to check, aren't you? Yeah. So Vitria, Bremen. So 3 at Bremen there. Connection, Large River. And this is in air combat. Okay. Bremen. Let's see. If I click on these, does it give me like more information here? Okay. So you can kind of see it. That's not too bad then. I can live with that then. Okay, so he did have his helicopter over here then. I think it took 3... Yeah, it took 3 hits. At least you get to see a little bit more here then. Oh, this is actually pretty good. It's actually quite a nice system. I wish we could see this in general. I mean, it looks like we took out the attack helicopters there, the AH-1s, which is not bad. Follow up over here then. So 5 hits incurred. Hits incurred. Yeah, to the helicopters over here then. So it did bring in heavy forces over here then. We didn't take too much of the hits as the helicopters here that took the hits. But yeah, I kind of expected this would be the issue here. So I think this is over the VV, so I do fear for the VV. We do eliminate this group over here of F-15s, which is not bad at all. And this is why I had this group over here. So yeah, these guys continue to take hits. The helicopters don't have the mass, and I don't think they can avoid the hits as easily as the other aircraft. Like these MiG-29s and SU-27s are really, really good. They're pretty damn good. But maybe we just don't have enough numbers of them to make it worthwhile. But the SU-27s are really good. Like, they have a little bit more mass than the MiG-29s, and they also hit harder, so that's pretty good. But that was another elimination there. Dogfight over here. So incurred... Right, and then they panicked. Oof. Wow. Rottenburg. Whereabouts is Rottenburg? Over here. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. So I guess that's the, like, follow-up, but no. Okay. Hits. Should I be reading this the other way around? Elimination 1. Which is them eliminated. Okay. So the left is... Right, okay. I'm just going to use the reading in this here. So we didn't do too bad then, really. Over Bremen. That was the one we looked at. Oh, no, I actually didn't take a look at this one. Oh, no, I did. Okay. Not bad then. Yeah, I can see then we have his air HQs here, basically. This is over Hamburg. Helicopters take a bit of a hit. I don't like my MiG-25s taking a hit, but they had been weakened. Though they still have a little bit more oomph to them, so they're not too bad. He had some... these Dutch ones are actually fairly weak. They're pretty potent, but they really don't have much strength. Wow, okay. Yeah, so units eliminated. So his unit here then. Electronic Combat Squadron. Okay, 40 seconds. Okay, so it's not a unit that's going to be doing the fighting, but that's still pretty good there. That's his electronic warfare unit there. Sorry, 8 hands there, taking hits. Not too bad though, we actually did okay there. Obviously when we get to defeats then it's going to change, but yeah. The air phase is one where he can concentrate his assets, so for us to score victories is not too bad. This is over at Fastberg. Let's see. Where's Fastberg? There we are. Alright. 2 hits. We had an elimination over here. Well, that's another good one there. Unless that's the same one I was just looking at. Interesting doesn't know elimination here. We're going to have to get used to reading this. Not bad. Yeah, they take the hits there. Yeah, another elimination here, and F5A. Looks like a follow-up here with fighter bombs. Alright, okay. Do let me know if the music's loud enough, by the way, I could up that. Yeah, his EF-111's been taking a bit of a pasting. What do we have here? I do like the Phantoms. The Phantoms are really nice. Had a rout here. I had a panic over here as well. Yeah, that's with the Czechs. That makes more sense. This one here. Are they routed? Okay. Harriers, okay. Oh, and this was once again over Bremen. Yeah, so this is a very, very potent task force. Well, sorry, task force squadron, grouping, air squadron, air wing, whatever you want to call it, air group. We'll go with air group. But it did a good job there. See these helicopters over here, needed to hit them. No real exchange there, no real exchange. But again, it's good to try and hit these helicopters, try and intercept them. So we have a ground battle, actually. So he retreats over here. We did win this. Now, did we... I need to realise, is this him scoring 16 hits? Or me taking 16 hits? Or did I... Yeah, let's figure this out. Oh, so he went in for air power, okay. Right, okay, yeah. Again, EF-111s, wow, okay. I need to remind myself of where the location is, but I can definitely do that. Yeah, these guys had good air... anti-air assets, and they also did have air cover as well, so yeah, that would have had them fairly mightily. Didn't hit many of the other units over here, so he should be thankful for that, but a lot of these actual NATO air units are not that meaty. It tends to be the American side seems to be the meatier ones here, but the rest are not that meaty. They're very good, but not meaty. That's good. Yeah, so again, taking out these guys is very nice for us, but yeah, we succeeded here, so that's good. It looks like we did take a bit of a beating over here, but we won out. Oh, so this was the forces over at Hamburg. Oh, no, not Hamburg, sorry, to the south. They're the ones south of Fulda, the ones where we wanted to have the breakthrough, but yeah, and I do want to retract my statements regarding the minefield and trenches. It does seem that they're more or less working as intended. They're intended to slow down offensives. But there is testing ongoing at the moment to see if they can be improved at all. But yes, quite the force that reacted to it here. Yeah, Panzers combined over here. Kind of unexpected. I kind of wanted to get into hit these like artillery pieces. That would have been great, but it is what it is. So yeah, losing these forces kind of hurts. They didn't really achieve much for me, but unfortunately we didn't get the breakthrough that I really wanted to be able to support them, really. But weirdly enough, we still win now, which is interesting. Right, again, we take hits and eliminations over here. Oh, so this is air. Oh, so they came in here then, so he had his satellites in here as well. Deep strikes. He came in pretty hard here. This is a very large, very, very large group, in fact. Yeah, very large. Yeah, you can see here the US forces tend to be, like, larger. Yeah, that was a fair amount of air defense as well. So a fair amount of air defense, but we can recover these here, we can rebuild them. The loss of the ZSU kind of sucks because that is not particularly... But I can recover it. It's not particularly easy to recover it. Not very nice to recover it. I would have rather it stayed in the field rather than being destroyed, but not too bad. Again, that was a large collection of air power. Satellite versus... yeah, okay, let's see who wins that one. That was outside Templin, okay. Right, and again over here. Deep Strike over here, then F-111s. EF-111s. Interesting, yes. Okay, so we kind of get an idea of what it's going for here. So it looks like he's trying to score victory points by hitting these guys, because they are worth 8 victory points. I wonder then if he's actually hit any of these and actually killed any of these, because obviously I haven't defended them. But I guess we'll see. Right. Was that one? Yeah, that was that one. In fairness, what I need to do is just shepherd them to like positions where there is air cover. We have Italians over here then, so Italian tornadoes. Ooh, that group almost went down. That would have been good to have had another E-111 go down there, but that's a lot of hits there. So, yeah, he can't... He did do damage here, did do 5 hits, but again, this isn't even a particularly well protected unit over here. This is... Okay. Well, I was saying that. If it's the one I'm thinking of, they should have had air cover, but I guess we'll see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they took a lot of hits. And again, that's another one down there. Okay, that's pretty good then. Cool. So we did take a couple of hits out here. I think this is near Hamburg, actually, on the outskirts of Hamburg. So Guards Tank Division did take some hits. But again, this is a very well-covered one. So, yeah, very, very well-covered. So, that did hurt them. He really probably would have preferred that not to happen, but that's interesting. Right, so the defeats are going to hurt. Let's just take... okay. Let's get a general picture here. It looks like it's going to be a pretty painful time here. Really... that's not bad at all, actually. F-111, okay. Apparently won that one, but it didn't look like a victory to me. Right, Pole's there, so it looks like he's encroaching there to the north. But again, this is the thing here. He's going in with very large collections of air power, which is what we've been doing. What we'll continue to do as well, actually. Okay, Panic's over here. This is a pretty strong group as well, actually. I mean, these are very large units, and they do punch. They don't have the greatest attack, but they do have a lot of staying power. So these F-15s over here, they did do a lot of damage, but they are pretty weak, and they can't sustain. But again, we did take a lot of a bit of a pound in there too. So that's where we want to have things in to help. Wow, apparently they did amazing. Okay, as you do. Yeah, 7 hits over here. I need to try and focus on taking out these, because these groups are not very large. They're really not as large as I anticipated. So even for the US, I mean, a lot of these guys can be taken out. So if I go ahead and form offensive air missions, then we can go in there and really do some damage to them, really. This is Fastberg once again. Let's see, I'm going to take a look at where we have eliminations. I clicked on the wrong one here. Hang on a sec. Elimination 1. There's the elimination done. Oops. Let me move that out of the way. Whoosh. I think that's Fastberg again. There's quite a few to take a look at here. Alright, I'll just go through them generally just so you guys can get an idea. And I'm interested to see the results on land. I really do want to obviously get a picture of what's going on land and just see how things are going there, really. But yeah, we'll see. We do have things working for us in terms of the air superiority combat factor, so our fighters are fighting a little bit more effectively. Eager to see the land. But overall, things don't look horrendous. Like, we've had a couple eliminations, but not that many as far as I can tell. Oh, so this is over at sea then, so how did this go? Ooh, we got smacked around here. Yeah, he threw his air forces into it there. Okay, we got smacked around there. Yeah, really got smacked around. I think that was our superior one as well. So, 10 hits scored. We lost these though, so actually that's not too bad. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, so that's okay. So those are the ones that take the hits rather than you take the hits, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Obviously the route doesn't help at all, but not too bad. So this is on land then. Okay, so we had elimination. The checks are not particularly reliable. So a lot of air power went in here. Yeah, the checks really got a bit of a paste in there. That's not great. Yeah, I'm not particularly confident of the checks. Still round. Their morale is just awful without leadership. Oh yeah, Maskarovka. But I was like, you son of a bitch. Oh, did he... Okay, looks like he wiped out the marine landing forces. In fairness, I kind of regret launching amphibious forces, but then again, I had anticipated that we would have been able to break through, but we didn't. But, times the breaks. Yeah, there we go. So these are the VDV. So the VDV do go down there, unfortunately. Just couldn't get through to them. I needed breakthroughs I didn't get there. Yes, that's true there, Palom. We did knock out this group over here then, so that's not too bad. But yeah, he went in there with a lot of German forces. Okay. But as reacted to it, we do have an idea of what he's working with. Still dealt 14, and he did have an elimination here. So the VDV did... they did at least try. But again, I should have gone hard. I should have just gone and dropped them in the Netherlands, really. But again, it's difficult, like, because he can respond to them. And that is the nature of the airborne. So we'll take a look. We had 38 eliminations. He had 8. I wish I could have seen the first turn. I can only see this here. But then this is summary since last time. But I feel like I limited more than just 8. So maybe I didn't get to see that. So in terms of elimination then. Hefty either way. VV, that sort of thing. Yeah. Heavy fights in either way. Let's see, cards played then. Okay. Fire reserve, so the French come into the fray. So, okay, so the French army will not arrive in the game. Okay. So he gains 15 VP there. Securing industries, Western counterintelligence services neutralize KGB sleeper cells in factories across Europe. That's pretty good for them. Political repression. Okay. Cost of 15 VP. Initiate the obstacle plan. Okay. Western Germany, -1 movement points on both sides, -10 VP. He gets some really nice cards. Depot raids. Naval Special Forces raid a Pact forward depot. Okay. Targeted eliminations. Western counterintelligence services neutralize Pact intelligence officers and their honorable correspondents. Okay. US Marine Corps for Norway. The US diverts the 4th US Marine Corps for use in Norway. Okay. So they're unavailable for Denmark. So Denmark will eventually fall then. That's more than likely. And then a nothing card over here. I don't know what the point of the nothing is, actually. It's kind of... I don't know. I don't get that one, but we'll see. Let's take a look then. Let's see. Ammo shortage, okay. Yeah. I like these combat cards because they do come in handy. Negotiations. Western and Soviet diplomats discuss de-escalation. The pace of operations reduced. Many units, both sides, -1 movement point, -5 tension index this turn. -1 turn for a random number of turns afterwards. That's interesting. We're going to get that? Okay. Nothing? Base raids. Spetsnaz attack a NATO airbase. Each unit inside an airbase suffers -5 MP this turn and a hit on a roll. Okay, let's go ahead and use that. Right, negotiations. We'll take a look at the wider map here in a moment. So, Western and Soviet diplomats discuss de-escalation. The pace of operations reduced. Many units both sides, -1 movement point. Now... does that work in my favour or his favour? The way I'm thinking about this is, then again saying that, Can I afford it? That's the question. So I'm thinking this is going to make it harder for him to react, but then again, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, is it, really? Alright. I don't know how I feel about that one. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the state of the map, and then we can get an idea first and foremost. So, with the red on here, just to try and make it immediately apparent. So, yep, those are gone, those are gone. That's a shame. I'm intrigued to see what happened down here with the Czechs. Where did we get hammered? Right, so he's reinforced... Well, he's got Vienna covered now by air power, Italian air power. Okay. We still have our forces over here, though they did take some hits. Hopefully I can rebuild them a little bit. We'll have to move in. Oh, so these are the Hungarians that did take a hit. Ah, yes, of course. I should actually either move them in here or move them out. That's fair enough. Okay. Yeah, they had good cover, so that's alright. Okay. Hopefully we can cross and succeed in Vienna. Hopefully so. I think we should be able to win out there, but it's not going to be certain. But it does force them to have to send forces to Austria, but ultimately we will triumph over here. We just have the assets, and I can go ahead and actually... I do believe I have... Do I have... Yeah, I have some Czech engineers over here, so I can send in the Czech engineers in here and really try and mass additional force in here. That's only 72. I'd like to bring that up if I can. But using lots of attack helicopters will help with that. So what I'll have to do is fly around Vienna and try and destroy the Italian Air Force. But we'll use this satellite and try and figure out what's going on as well. So he's still got his force over here, the one that was initially there. We see that this is a large American and German force over here. And again, I wanted this hex, like... I wanted to break through this hex, but we didn't break through this hex because of the defensive emplacements there, which not particularly ideal. So it does throw us in a bad position here. But we'll see. At the end of the day, I do have forces in here, and should he invade East Germany, okay, I can work with that. The plan really was to swing this way, and I'm not seeing that much in this direction. Air defenses over here, but not too much. Looks like he's pulled back forces around here. Looks like there's some forces here, but not all that much. Forces here too. Not much here. Wolfsburg should have been mine last turn, I've got to say. Like, the amount of effort I put into taking Wolfsburg, and we didn't get it, was remarkable. Considering we had, like, a lot in that, but okay. We managed to achieve over here, then. I'll take this over here. And this is open over here, which is actually interesting. I might be able to see what we can work with. We know that the VDV got eliminated here, or were eliminated, which is a shame, because I did want to link up with them, but it is what it is. Had I been able to take Wolfsburg in this area, but again, he can react. And he's going to react. Hamburg looks very light. Looks like there's a couple of forces there at Hamburg, so we should be able to take Hamburg. I do want to obviously take this, and then we'll push in through here. But again, I'm going to have the Poles really take care of this, and I'm going to have the Soviets really concentrate on down this direction. I really need to crush the Germans. I need to crush NATO in this area. I need to defeat NATO in that area. These guys, I'm going to go ahead and hide. They don't need to be where they are. I'm going to make sure I can try and cover them as much as I can. But generally, it seems like we do have, obviously, the Soviet forces making their way. I do note as well that in the actual combat resolution, we did not see any instances of the bombers being attacked, which is great. That means that I have my bombers safe over here, and these bombers will strike out and they will deal damage. Like, he does have, I believe it does have bombers, but it has mostly fight bombers. I don't think we really saw bombers proper as such, which is pretty interesting. Now, if I take a look over here, then. East Germany, 103, Czechs, okay, Soviet Union Air Force, 184, 284 for the Soviets. US is increased in size, okay, not too surprising. Try and keep an eye on those numbers, but it's a little bit difficult sometimes. Okay. That's not going to cost me too much to move into there. Move cost 1. This one's interesting though. We'll have to see what we can discover via satellite, and then we can move forward. This I can move forward over here as well. It looks like there is a division of like what looks to be Home Guard. Taking Hamburg will help a lot. Taking Hamburg would give me additional victory points there. And I think to bear in mind as well is I need tensions to remain low. So that... really so far I can extend the game, but then again, it's an interesting question. Like, I've sworn, obviously, off of using chemical and nuclear. I have told Alex this. Really, if I was like playing the game more competitively, I would not tell him, because obviously it doesn't do me any favors, really, because obviously he knows that now. But yes, we do obviously have Berlin over here, so I'm going to have to assault Berlin. Taking Berlin would obviously give us those victory points, so that'll be done soon enough, and that will relieve the GDR army over here as well, and the forces assigned to it. It's a shame that we actually didn't take that, actually. Surprising. But then again, I just put the GDR onto it. Maybe I should have put the Soviets, but I moved the Soviets forward, and I don't regret that. So he moved in here, okay. But we do have enough force to push through. There's definitely enough force over here to push through. I'm not really even seeing much in the way of resistance, so I'm going to be interested to see what Satellite reveals to us. And the only real resistance, as far as I can tell now, that's not exactly... well, that I can see right now, is around this area. Obviously Austria too. But again, he's not pushed across over here. I mean, we do obviously have the advantage of the defensive terrain now, which is what I wanted. This is the areas I did want to take, so I did gain that terrain. This is not too bad over here over the forest, but the supply is not particularly ideal here. Are they in supply? They appear to be in supply, but I've got to be very careful. It does have forces over here, but again, I've got to be pretty careful. I need to mass the border guards in such a way as to make this dicey of a prospect for him. We'll see. We do have the Soviet forces following up over here. There are forces over here to follow up as well. Okay. Biden. Oh, Hersbruck. Okay. Interesting. Again, a lot of nuclear tension. So it's an interesting one. Do I try to de-escalate the tension? Does that help me? Does it help me to reduce my movement points? I think if I reduce my movement points now, I'm going to lose what options I have. So I'm not going to de-escalate. We're not going to do this. It would be nice, but right now I do have things working against me. He played a card. Yeah, I kind of regret the amphibious operations. But then again, it was either NATO... Sorry, it was either land against the NATO forces in Denmark... over here or land here, and I had hoped they were going to link up. But again, it's difficult when you can't move them first turn. You do have to just see what happens. But we'll go with that then. Alright, let's see. Support for terrorism, okay. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the cards that we do have here. So card draw. So respect for norms must be played upon draw, even if efforts towards more flexibility design and Warpack. Doctrine, the scientific approach requires strict compliance to standards in all areas. One selected, okay, loses 1 MP this turn. I don't know which one it was. Maybe it's not happened yet. So let's see what we have here. Nothing. I'm going to just play that just to get it out of the way. Ground attack, not going to do that. Negotiations, not going to do that. Support for terrorism. KGB increases support of terrorist attacks in NATO countries, particularly the BMG, RF, PLO, and IRA. Minus 5% income and minus 2 VPs for NATO countries. Yep, okay, we'll go for that. And right, okay. Right. There's return. Reinforcements. I'd love to go with tactical nukes. I really would. I'd love to use chemical weapons, but I'm not. Okay, so supply convoys. USSR and Pact factories increase truck delivery rate. 1 Pact truck logistical unit enters play on a friendly stack. Cool. I wish I could nuke him, but I'm not. I can't. Maybe in future games we can use chemicals and nukes. Chemicals would be great. Really, really great. Like, I'm really holding myself back by not having chemicals, but it is what it is. Okay. So random stack gain supply is an interesting one. Very interesting one. Where do I want the supply to be? They don't have supply, actually, so that wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, Polish. Right, limited preparation. I should have probably gone for total preparation, but again, I didn't realise... I kind of overestimated how much VP I'd need. Obviously, I wasn't, used to using chemicals as well. Right. Which was going to be more expensive for me. Where are these guys? Right. I'm trying to figure out when I want to have these guys. So this is... where do I need this strength right now? I'm going to push in into Hamburg. Hamburg, there's plenty of forces. Yeah. More or less alright there. A lot of guards tank divisions over here. There's a lot of tank divisions in general there. There's a mass graphics going to be great. I think I might try and use those. Just try and delay him when I can. Where the hell are these guys then? 16th Guards Tank Division. Schwechen, I can't even pronounce it. Let's see. I forget how you find them now. Can I double click? Double clicking would have been nice actually, must admit. Oh, there we go, we can click. Okay, so that's over here. They're not too bad. That's over here, okay. Let's take a look at what we have that's the weakest, really. These units could be restored, but I'm not going to bother with that. They're very mobile, don't get me wrong, but I can restore them later. Right, I'm going to restore these units here. That one I can probably pay for the repair. Alright, wish I'd gone for total mobilization, otherwise I could have repaired that too, but again, this is it. We'll be playing future games here, so... Okay, so we do have reinforcements. Not really an arrival of a Polish command? Interesting. Oh, joint forces, Polish HQ densely staffed. Okay, that's interesting. And we have a 6 motorized... Oh, motor stroke division over here. Okay. Keep pressing the wrong buttons here. Down here too. And over here. So we have a number of units being activated then. Yeah, quite a few motor stroke divisions actually. Or motor Schutzen, I should say. Tank divisions over here as well. So T-55s. Even T-34-85s over here. Why not? Armor's armor. Right, more in the way of engineers, that's great. Ooh, we also do have... Ooh, these are great. So, Victory City Dresden, yes. Okay, these are really good, having these guys. Those are very large units that I can really make a use of there. Additional artillery reinforcements. Now right buyers cards, okay. Right, so not a lot there, gained with just 55 income. Modified plus 35%, actually, not too bad, I guess. Right, so we're really hemorrhaging. I'd like to go for cards, and it's a difficult thing, because I do want to go for cards, but I don't know really what I can do. But I really need to focus on just keeping my strength right now, so... We're going to restore as much as we can here, and I need to try and just maintain strength above everything. Cards would be great, really, really would be great, but I can't afford it right now. Right, naval movement, okay. $32. Now he's very close to my front lines here. Where'd they go? Oh, they're in here, okay. Yeah. And I will try to strike at him with all the naval power. Sorry, naval air. Let's see. And movement's been reduced somewhat. Okay. 2-2. Air is a pretty big consideration, but need to win sea here. These ones have got quite... Yeah, they're quite nice. That is 4 command points. This can handle number 5. That's not bad. We'll see what it is though. Ooh, 4. That's interesting. Only 1-1, but they are quite beefy. But not worth it. 2-2. Riga. Ooh, these ones are actually pretty good. I should probably invest in those because I can get quite a few in there then. Yeah. So I'm intending to take on ships here, so I might as well try and take them on. Okay. Sorry, 2 more. Yeah, we'll take them. Oh, sorry, only 1 more. Okay. Alright, then we'll go in here to engage in battle. Alright. Do have at least some mines here. Now, again, this is interesting. So there is some air power over here, actually, but it has revealed. There's actually quite the force over here. But I will bring in power here. We'll also try and strike at these. I think these are Danish? Danish aircraft. So if I recall, they're not that strong, actually, so that's something to bear in mind. Alright, let's bring this closer to the actual coast so it's better protected. Okay. We lost the first round there, but we didn't really take hits as such. They were allocated elsewhere, so that's not too bad. Alright, air movement. So this is the one that's going to take forever. This is going to be the follow-up stream, really. But what we'll go ahead and do then is we'll get a sense of what's going on. And where the heck are my Sputniks? There they are. Okay. The Sputniki brothers. Alright, let's go ahead and get a sense here. I'm sorry, but they have a limited movement. Let's go! Really? That seems to be a bug here. Yeah, that seems to be some sort of bug there. I'll have to make the developer aware of that. Okay, that's interesting. Apparently that is the only place on Earth that a satellite can't cover. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so strength here. He won't go down easy in Denmark, but he doesn't have that much. Danish over here. Yeah. Maybe I should have landed here, but then again, what would have that have gained me? But I don't know. It wouldn't really have gained me all that much, in fairness. The amphibious and airdrops, I probably should have been more cautious or even more aggressive. It's an interesting one. But there's really not that much over here at Bremen. So it's probably a combined Dutch and American force over here, perhaps? Likely. We see some strength over here. Okay. I did want the roads here, but I'm not that eager. Large collection of air power over Hanover, but not much elsewhere. But he's seemingly trying to cover this area here, which is a good idea. You can do that. It will make life a little bit harder. Really, he's moved the British Army of the Rhine elsewhere. Has he collected it over here, then? Is he intended to use the British Army of the Rhine for a counterattack? It seems so. Ooh, so he's looking to block me with the British Army of the Rhine here. And that's a pretty strong force, if I dare say so. But I'm not seeing anything really out here. Although, I have seen American forces out here, but... Okay, so he's attempting to block me on the roads here. Okay. So he's blocking me here, but what's the terrain here? A terrain here, -2 to the attack of 1 to the defender. -2 to the attack of 1 to the defender. Castle. The thing, though, is he has diverted the British Army of the Rhine here. The British Army of the Rhine is more or less concentrated here. Oh boy, I'd love to nuke them. I'd love to use chemical weapons on them, but you know what? I was here in Moscow, just not feeling it today. Wow. Belgium? Belgianese. Okay. Would the Netherlands have been viable? Really... I don't know. I bet there's, like, garrisons inside these cities, but it would have been... I tell you what, next time I play a game, I'm going to go ahead and land there. We'll see. Flemish? Well, this looks like Norwegian. But I'm going to assume it's some Dutch unit. But I'm not actually that entirely sure. Could be Belgian. I'm not too sure on that one. So, somebody knows about that. Looks Belgian, perhaps. Looks Dutch, perhaps. Okay. So, in terms of where his strength is, it's not really so much in this area. He does have strength here, but that's about it. Hamburg doesn't really have strength. Eisendorf doesn't really have strength. Blue back in this area, okay. Yeah, has strength. But I don't need to engage with that. I just don't need to engage with that. There's not that much here really to make my life easy. That is a tough city to take, really, due to that. But that's a position I just want to bomb into the Stone Age. And really hit him. But then again, this is where it's harder to hit via air. Ooh, saying that, sorry. How is this looking? This is easy to hit by air, so that's begging to be hit by massive amounts of bombers. But especially fighter bombers, to make sure. Right. But yeah, he's kind of ceding territory over here. Not easily, obviously we still have to fight to take it, but it's not that bad. But this is open. And this is open. As far as I can tell, this is open. There's no ground forces here, which is interesting. Which means we'd have our road from the north down to the south as we wanted, in theory. I'd have to take Lindbergh, or at least I would secure Lindbergh to be properly sure of that, and just take the area, but it looks feasible. This looks to be a force of some strength, but not that large. And again, over here, not that large. These forces I need to be quite careful in where I deploy them, because they're very good at being a rapid reaction force. Right, let's see. So what do we do about this situation here? Strong forces over here at Frankfurt. I do have a Soviet army here that will fill in this gap. And I will continue to press this way. It's not going to be easy because there is some stiff resistance here. But it can't be strong everywhere. And I will steadily push through Austria. So the Italians aren't likely to be heading up here anyway. Right, okay. The good news is as well, if you guys notice, the helicopters actually didn't take any hits other than the ones that were actually directly in the front line. So there are all these helicopters here that are good to go. And these helicopters, there are ones that are set up for defense, like these guys are set up to defend. Yeah, the Mi-8 transports assault helicopters with mine scattering system. Yeah, useless for the attack, but effective in defense. Yeah, there you go. Those guys can be used, and they really will add up to our defense where we need it. So that's interesting. I'm not even going to pretend that I can do much here today. So it's going to take some time to figure out what we have and where to strike, but I'm just getting an idea for how we feel about things right now. Right. Where are the Italians, actually? I might as well look for them. So there's Italian forces. There's Italian forces over here, okay. Oh, there's the Italian ground forces, okay. But that's actually not bad, because that means I can potentially engage with the Italians on my own terms. There's the Italian air power here, but okay. I can deal with just a single stack of air power. It's not going to be easy to deal with, but it's not going to be all that difficult either. I think I moved forward a lot of the air power. I think I moved it over this way. Yes. Somewhere around here. Our air power is a bit depleted, I must admit. But we will be able to rebuild it, I think, potentially at the end of this turn. I forget how it works, but we will be able to rebuild it. Or at least help aid in rebuilding it. Yeah, these guys. Okay. So generally what we're going to have to do then is just collect really offensive air power. Obscenely offensive air power, basically, and have it thrown at him. They need to be recovered, but that can be done. So how do I feel about first turn? I regret not going for total mobilization, but yeah. I also, I don't know, it's an interesting one really. With the amphibious, it does force them to have to react to the amphibious landings, so it is one of those. I wish I'd kept that card in play. But this is it. Learning from this game is going to be interesting. I don't know how my chances are in this game. I think being the aggressor, you do have to put your hand into the blender. And of course, the blender will tend to blend. Though sometimes we might be able to just jam the blender with our sheer mass. That's probably about it, really. Eesh. Alright. But things are actually looking fairly okay. I can see definitely where we can continue to push. I think really, really what we want to be doing here. Where the hell did I put Sputnik? Oh yeah, Sputnik's over here. Go on, Sputnik. Let's go. Yeah, so in terms of really where I want to put my offensive efforts then. He's connected to the British Army Orion over here, okay. Okay. That road is blocked. That road is blocked for now. Right. There's not all that much around here. But what I'm thinking about doing here then is, let's see. I can take this over here at Castle. Castle. I could maybe even take the army up to here. But this force isn't that strong. This is more or less just a secondary force. So that's not going to be an offensive force. That would be the offensive force here. But it may be enough here. Though I'm not too sure what he actually has here. I'd imagine defenses. And I don't really want to go into said defenses. So really I have two offensive armies here. Another way to look at it is, well, what can we do to him? There's 24 stack in here, there's 24 stack in here. Okay. He's really stacking his air power here. That makes sense. So do I want to hit him when he's strongest? That's the question. There's a part of me that thinks, okay, well, maybe it is worthwhile to just attack and drive to the British. There's not that much around here. But maybe I can use the air mobile forces to get around him and cause problems. But it can't be guaranteed, and he also does have Dortmund to fall back into. So the British are definitely squarely placing themselves in the way. I can't move in such a way as to leave myself vulnerable. So really, the offensive maneuvers and the big maneuvers are going to come in this area here. Because there's not much here. I can push through here. And he has ceded this area. This area has been ceded, more or less. He acknowledges that we will be able to win there. Which, okay. We've gained an increasing amount of East German forces, so what I'm likely going to go ahead and do then is have East German forces probably head down this way, perhaps. I need to have the East Germans give my Soviets a free hand, really. They need to hold this area, more or less. The Czechs didn't perform anywhere near as well as I needed them to perform, but hey, that's to be expected. But overall, not that bad. Let's see what events occurred here. Okay. Alright. So the Second Battle of the Atlantic. The Atlantic Ocean is becoming a crucial issue for the future of Europe and for parts of the world. If the Soviet Navy and naval and air forces manage to cause sufficient losses to the convoys coming from the United States, the influx of troops and materials reinforcements, all to make up for the losses, will be insufficient and will not make it possible to hold out, to counterattack, or to meet other primary needs of the deployed US troops and allies. Not only for the military, but also for civilian populations, starting from the millions of displaced persons and refugees. The war in the Mediterranean. The war in Europe is prolonged in the Mediterranean theatre. For the moment, it consists of naval air skirmishes, which soon turn into major battles with numerous losses on both sides. Even if the Soviets benefit from port access in Syria and Libya, they are nevertheless limited, and several damaged ships which take refuge in these harbours have little chance of being repaired there in a timely manner. While Syria and Libya conduct air and naval attacks in support of the Soviets, they have little chance of success against the American, French, Greek, and Italian fleets. The Turkish Navy does not stray from the Bosphorus Straits. Additionally, a third of the Syrian Navy was sunk by the Israeli Navy within hours of announcing their support for the Soviets. Ouch. Elsewhere in the Mediterranean, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt have opted for neutrality. Interesting. Washington-Moscow hotline. As nuclear war now seems inevitable on a strategic scale, with ultimately the potential extinction of mankind, the US and Soviet leaders are feverishly talking to each other to try and avoid the worst, even if the war continues. The challenge is to try and keep the war in a conventional logic rather than the use of weapons of mass destruction. Okay. Reminder, Commander. Oh, I see. Nato general mobilization. I should have gone for total mobilization, but hey. Alright. I can't remember if I covered this, but we have the invasion of Turkey here. So, Warsaw Pact invades Turkey to seize the outlets of the Black Sea and thus allow the Soviet Black Sea fleet to easily re-enter the Mediterranean Sea and vice versa. Bulgaria, oh yeah, I believe we covered this. So, in both axes, logistical difficulties and relative mediocre power of most of the Pact units involved contribute to a slow rate of advance. However, at this point, the Turkish army seems overwhelmed. And then tensions on the DMZ. Ah, yeah, this was between North Koreans and Seoul. Okay, let's see how things have moved on then. So, the USSR has invaded Iran. So Soviet forces invade Iran, following on operational plans devised in the 1970s and updated in the 1980s. Moscow has invaded Iran. The advance is less an action of conquest than to establish a logistical corridor in the direction of the Persian Gulf. The real objective of the Soviet forces, if all goes well in Iran, depriving the United States and the West of its oil shipments via the Gulf. This would be a victory on a decisive scale. Once achieved, Central Europe may resist all at once, but eventually all its resolve will be broken and it will no longer be a problem. So plus 10 VPs for the Pact player this time. That's good. Yeah, that continues. Okay. Right, I see. Preventive airstrike. 3 air corridors, north, centre, and south, are established from the DDR into the FRG, flying over 1,000 planes. The War Pact conducts massive air attacks against air bases, command centres, and logistical hubs across NATO. In theory, if the War Pact expects to have a chance of victory, each of their planes must accomplish a minimum of 3 sorties per day for 3 days, attack aircraft, F-17s, etc. Right, okay. They must pass through the defensive anti-aircraft missile belts of NATO, but dedicated Soviet Sea aircraft suppress some of these defences, managing to clear lanes for the attack aircraft at several places. Some planes fall under the blows of NATO fighters and fighter bombers assigned to air defence missions, and both sides' losses are significant. Yeah, that would make sense. So, bridges and roads destroyed. NATO initiated the destruction of structures and roads in secret plans, the obstacle plan, even as war broke out. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright. Well, what we'll do then... In some ways it's easier for us to really get the ball rolling again. But I am doing it with damaged assets, which is not particularly ideal. Yeah, these took a bit of a beating there. But these guys are good to go. Yeah, very good to go. Okay. We can definitely see the value of units like this, like the Yak-2B. Well, I'm not as impressed by the Czechs. Where did the Czechs get hit? Must have been here. Or it might have been elsewhere, actually. The Czechs got hit hard somewhere. It may have been here, actually. Yeah, very likely in this area. Okay. I was about to say this road's open. This is a fair collection of strength there. Okay. Tough question. Where do I want to engage him, is the question. No, we have 24, 24, 22, 24, 24, 24, okay. I want to engage him where I can get mass. I can engineer mass, but I can't always achieve it. 27, 32, 20 here, 28 here, 32. Okay, this would be a good area to engage him. Because the actual amount of command I can have in there is pretty good, so I could actually make a lot with that. Yes, 28 here, 28. Okay, so this is the corridor that we push through. This is where you can actually mass quite a bit there. 28, 28, 28, 22, 24, 32 here. Yeah, this is good avenue of advance because I can actually bring a lot of my Soviets into... Well, I can bring a lot of Soviet force into bear here. So I feel like what we're going to go ahead and do is punch through this way, and then I think try and just break towards taking the coast and just isolating the forces in Denmark from the forces in northern Germany. This is going to be an interesting one. The way is forward over here, and what it may be worthwhile doing is just using air mobile units to conquer this territory. I don't expect to hold on to this territory, but taking it is going to be useful. Like, this one has a victory point. Not many of them do, but some of them do. And even if I take this, it does actually mean he's not going to have supply move through there. Not that it's going to matter all that much, but it does mean something. Yeah, we have Sputnik. So we have 2 satellite units over here they can move around. They can get involved in battle, but I don't think I've ever seen them actually function in battle, so I can't say how they work in battle. I don't think they're meant to work in battle, but I'm not too sure. We'll see about that. Okay. So really, it's going to be interesting. Like, how many replacements do you have? 62. Fucking hell. We have 231? Is that real? I did buy a lot of replacements. I thought that we had just that, but that's not bad at all then. Okay. Alright, okay, that makes me feel a lot better there. If that's really 231 replacements, I can do a lot with that. That's very nice. I wish I'd gone for total mobilization, but that does make me feel better. He's got 62 here. I need to destroy units. I need to really destroy units. But I do feel that Hamburg is possible and Eisendorf, so that's good. How is that going to shape up then? I could spend time. Now, there is such a thing, like, essentially, if the game does not go nuclear, you can gain, I believe it's another 3 months of the war or something. I think it adds on another, I can't recall now, it's either another 14 turns or another 15 turns, something of that nature. So we're on turn 2 of 15, but we can actually extend the war, assuming that no nuclear escalation takes place, which it's not going to take place for me, but we never know for Alex. But maybe we could try and play the long war, and maybe we try and say, okay, this isn't going to be solved immediately, and we're going to have to just try and solidify things. But what I'm feeling like doing here then is really we hit the Dutch. I think this is the point we hit. So this is going to be the focus for using aerial power. Here I don't really need to do it all that much. Like, I can have obviously, I can have air power to help me here, which I definitely will. It's a shame that we lost some amphibious forces over here, but again, they fought. They didn't fight very well, but they fought. But there's not that much in the way of air power here. He's got his air power collected here, because he knows that's really where he needs it. There's air power over here, but again, I don't... Yeah, so he's got strength over here, actually, so I spoke too soon. But again, that doesn't matter all that much if I can just really hit him. Okay. Sieges are going to be painful, and I'm not entirely sure how I want to go about sieges. I really want them to be over very quickly, but I need to really bring as quality of a force as I can possibly manage to the field, and just defeat him outright. Okay. Yeah, so I've got some air mobile units that could move around here and cause some problems. So that's a smaller unit there that could be attacked. Like a response unit there. Where do the roads go? So the roads go this way, and he's covering that direction. Okay. I'm going to conquer all this territory, but I can, that's exposed. Where can I maneuver? I don't know how strong this force is over here. Like, this is really terrible territory to attack into. That's the problem here. It's really bad for me. I think what we'll do here then is it's going to be a tough decision to say how these units are going to be deployed here. But I do have units, and I think what I'll do is I'll form up this new army assembling here. Move forces out before we decide what we do on the front, really. But in terms of what we have in air power, we did take losses, but it was mostly losses to non-Soviet units, which is not too bad. I need to take Berlin so I can move that army out. But we'll have that soon enough. But this army has a pretty free hand here. And this is 87 strength over here. So if I can continue to push that here, and I will, because I can get 32 in here, I just have to move through this hex, which is going to cost me movement. But that's not too bad there, one. But I can drive directly across there. And I can drive directly to Bremen. Now, Bremen's worth a good few victory points there. Do I care about the cities? Not really. What I care about is actually getting to the Pumpkish units, which are generally in this area. And what I want to try and do is essentially lessen the amount of reinforcements that are going to come from the US in that way. It's not going to be easy to manage, but I can try and do it. But I do think that's the way we go. We have forces this way that we can move. What do they have in terms of mobility? Not amazing mobility, but they should be able to make it. That's going to cost 1. That's going to cost 1. I think I should be able to get this stack over here this turn. In which case, do I even engage the air power? I mean, I'm going to have to engage the air power just to ensure that I have a victory. But it's one of those where we can consider it. But yeah, there's... But then again, saying that, let's see. Yeah, Dutch forces over here then, okay. Yeah, there's a Pumpkus, so I need to destroy that. Yeah, destroy this over here too. I really wish I'd deployed the forces. I mean, then again, they probably would have been attacked by these guys. But hey, at least this is -2 and +1 defense, so that it would have been better than just being outside Hamburg. Sorry, Bremen. Yeah, Rottenburg, when I got 0. So that's something to consider in the future. I will be doing another play by email, by the way, as well, with SD League, so that's going to be fun. I'll get on working with that shortly. Quite cool. Okay, so that is the review here, really, and we'll proceed. I think what I'll do is I'll probably just put this episode up as a complete piece, because it feels like I'm making people wait unnecessarily if I don't. And then we'll go from streams there. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know how you feel about the situation in general. And really where you think we should push through. Right now I'm thinking that we continue to push here. Really I want to concentrate as much as I can, so I will focus on one particular point and continue doing that. Yeah, Katusha starts playing. Hey Dineshu. The one where Infinite Monkey would eventually start or continue, depending. Like Infinite Monkey, sorry, not Infinite Monkey, sorry, Admiral Dadman, that's it. My bad. But yes, I would love to have Infinite back. But I think he's still busy. But as far as it goes for Dadban, I believe he is on break 2. And yeah, but we can continue a game in the future. And I'm looking forward to that. But indeed, thank you for watching, guys. I hope to see you again in the future. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you next time, eh? Goodbye for now.